Analyst to the Superintendent Jessica Todman, Chief Strategy Officer Dave Brandkamp, Director, Office of Standards and Instructional Support Jason Dietrich, Director, Office of Educator Development, Lee Sencher, and Family Engagement Bill Farrer, Administrative Services Officer, Office of Department Support Lynn Hoffman, Administrative Services Officer, Office of District Support Services Will Jensen, Director, Office of Inclusive Education Dr. Sangdao Keo, Director, Office of Student and School Supports Christy McGill, Director, Office for a Safe and Respectful Learning Environment Patty Oya, Director Office of Early Learning and Development Megan Peterson, Management Analyst, Business and Support Services Division Compliance Craig Statucki, Director Office of Career Readiness, Adult Learning and Education Options Peter Zutz, Administrator, Office of Assessment, Data and Accountability Management. Table of Contents: a letter from Superintendent Ebers 4081B, ODUF HTVTHF HEDNFEHVD8 BOAURDSPEARVRITC MESNT of Education, NDE 6 Introduction and Framework 8, ISNUTPREORDINENTFSRALIMSTEEWNOINRGK Tour 162 Nde Values 14 Goal 1, all children, birth through 3rd grade, have access to Goal 2. All students have access to effective educators 3101 quality early care and education Goal 2. All students have access to effective educators 36 Goal 4. All students graduate future ready and globally prepared Goal 3. All students experience continued academic growth 414 for post-secondary success and civic life. Goal 4. All students graduate future ready and globally prepared for post-secondary success and civic life 54 Goal 5. All students have access to new and continued educational opportunities supported by funding that is administered transparently 60 Goal 6 18 consistently and in accordance with legislative or grant guidelines Goal 6. All students and adults learn and work together in safe environments where identities and relationships are valued and celebrated 64 Glossary 70 based on the invaluable feedback gathered during the Superintendent's statewide listening tour. The theme of the 2020 SDIP is Battle-Born, Globally Prepared. Battle-Born is our state motto. Globally Prepared encapsulates what our students need to be future ready, whatever the next few decades may hold. A letter from Superintendent Ebers, July 2020, an open letter to the citizens of Nevada. As I write this, we are facing challenges to our public health, our livelihood, and our sense of justice. Hardships are affecting every corner of our state and every aspect of our lives. We are being tested in ways we may not comprehend for months and years to come. The way forward is uncertain, but this much is clear: rising to the occasion takes a whole society effort. We must take ownership of the obstacles we are facing and commit to creating lasting change. In trying moments, it is comforting to recognize we can persevere. Earning our nickname of Battle-Born, history has shown that when it matters most, Nevadans pull together and can overcome anything. This letter introduces an improvement plan created by the Nevada Department of Education, NDE. The plan promotes equity and opportunity for every single student. Our goal is to equip young people to navigate and succeed in an uncertain world. Before introducing the plan, I want to tell you about how we developed the plan. The arc of my life reflects the opportunities public school provided when I was young. I grew up in a humble home, and I often went to school hungry. My path would have been very different if not for the supports and open doors provided by public school. Because of my journey, I wake every day committed to every child in Nevada getting the supports they need. This is an equity agenda. I returned home to Nevada in April 2019 after working for 3 years in New York. I am honored to serve under a governor who has made quality education for all children a cornerstone of his platform. Our state must equitably invest in education to ensure every student graduates with the tools they need to build a home, a life, and a future. NDE committed to addressing the needs of students and educators in its 2020 statewide plan for the improvement of pupils, SDIP. To do that, I had to listen and understand what those needs are and how they differ from community to community. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born, globally prepared for. Between September 2019 and January 2020, I visited all 17 school districts and the State Public Charter School Authority. At every stop, I met with students, educators, staff, administrators, families, elected officials, and community members. They spoke about what they were most proud of as well as their aspirations to improve. The tour was eye-opening. It was a gift to hear directly from students, educators, and families about their hopes for the future. As a result of the listening tour, I know that if you visited one rural school district, you've visited one rural school district. Our state education system is not Clark County School District, Washoe County School District, and the rurals. The needs of schools across the state are as diverse as the students they serve. Students' needs vary based on personal experiences, backgrounds, and context. Like educators adapt their strategies to support each student, NDE must adapt our work to support each community. We are proud that Nevada's average high school graduation rate continues to break records. But for too many students, high school graduation is a faint and distant call. We continue to see unacceptable opportunity gaps between students. Opportunity gaps refer to the ways in which certain characteristics lead to lower educational aspirations, achievement, and attainment for students. If you reflect on student outcomes in Nevada, it is clear that systemic inequities and structural racism have for too long negatively impacted our children and families. NDE upholds that students must be supported, valued, and celebrated no matter who they are or where they attend school. Regardless of your age, gender, socioeconomic status, religion, race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, ability, native language, national origin, or citizenship status, NDE is dedicated to your success. I hope that after you dig into this document and the data presented, you will join NDE as we strive to transform our work. Now is not a moment too soon to fight for equity, to celebrate our diversity, and to lead with love. If the 2020 SDIP is successful, it sets rigorous expectations and creates a sustainable infrastructure of support that will accelerate every child's improvement. Nevada remains the fastest growing state in the nation. Projections show that the racial ethnic makeup of Las Vegas's population today is closest to what the nation's population will look like in 2060. That means that we are responding to demographic shifts ahead of the curve. As much as we will learn from what's working in other states, in 5 years, I know that other states will be learning from us. We can lead the way and be the proving ground for the rest of the country. Rising to the challenges that confront us will show everyone that this is our moment. We hope you see yourself in the 2020 SDIP, and we hope you will join us as we create a new narrative for our state. That is, how the battle born will become globally prepared. Sincerely, JHONEME Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born, Globally Prepared 5. About the Nevada Department of Education. The Nevada Department of Education, NDE, leads and collaborates with Nevada's 17 school districts and the State Public Charter School Authority. This includes regular collaboration to ensure state and federal requirements are met and students and educators are supported. NDE also collaborates with educational partners including child care providers, the Nevada System of Higher Education, and regional professional development programs to improve student achievement and educator effectiveness. The State Board of Education, State Board, sets the vision and mission for Nevada's system of education. The vision describes the ideal future state of education in Nevada. All Nevadans are ready for success in a global 21st century. The mission describes how NDE will lead and collaborate with public schools and districts, educators, staff, and stakeholders to achieve the vision. The Nevada Department of Education's mission is to improve student achievement and educator effectiveness by ensuring opportunities, facilitating learning, and promoting excellence. The state board establishes policies and practices that govern public schools in Nevada. NDE is led by the State Superintendent of Public Instruction. The State Superintendent is nominated by the State Board, appointed by the Governor, and serves as a member of the Governor's Cabinet. The State Superintendent of Public Instruction is the executive leader of NDE and works in partnership with the State Board on the development of regulations and policies governing P-12 public education. NDE's approximately 170 employees collaborate with schools, districts, educational partners, and stakeholders to ensure that students and educators have access to high-quality learning opportunities and professional support. NDE's responsibilities as described in state and federal law include licensure of educational personnel, development of academic content standards, monitoring school performance, and administering federal and state appropriations. Under the state superintendent's leadership, NDE fulfills its commitment to go beyond mandated responsibilities and extend its partnerships with schools, districts, and stakeholders. NDE is committed to ensuring transparent and timely communication, spearheading inclusive policy making, and providing quality technical assistance to help districts and schools reach their goals. Through this work, NDE impacts the achievement of nearly 500,000 school-age children and 30,000 teachers. Pursuant to an executive order in 2013, NDE also shares responsibility with the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services for the educational experience of 180,000 children from birth to age 4. Through its policies, the state board establishes what students should know and be able to do. Through its decisions, the state board matches resources to our highest priorities. NDE is advised and supported in its work by the members of 25 boards, commissions, and councils established in state law. NDE has ongoing partnerships with national organizations with expertise in education including the Aspen Institute, WestEd, the Education Commission of the States, and the Council of Chief State School Officers. 6 Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born, Globally Prepared. Silver State Partnerships. Improving Nevada's education system is Governor Steve Sisolak's top priority. He believes every child deserves the opportunity to succeed. The governor supports investing in schools so they have the resources needed to provide a safe and effective learning environment. The governor's commitment to a child and family-centered approach to government has resulted in new and expanded partnerships between executive agencies. For example, the Governor's Office of Science, Innovation, and Technology works in collaboration with NDE to designate the Governor's Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math (STEM) schools as well as the Governor's STEM Council. The STEM Advisory Council's Subcommittee on Computer Science is integral to our efforts to promote high-quality K-12 computer science instruction. NDE also partners with the Governor's Office of Workforce Innovation, OWIN, on LifeWorks, a group of initiatives that promote awareness and access to career pathways for high school students. NDE works with OWIN, the Governor's Office of Economic Development, the Department of Employment, Training, and Rehabilitation, and the Nevada System of Higher Education to expand career and technical education programs, increase access to college-level coursework, align to workforce needs, and develop new work-based learning programs to support students in earning college and career-ready diplomas, among other measures. As members of the Governor's Workforce Board, NDE staff collaborate with other agencies to support adult education and strengthen education to workforce career pathways. In addition, NDE has worked with Nevada Medicaid to expand access to school-based health services, including mental health services. This partnership allows districts to bill for a broader range of services for Medicaid-eligible students. It has been estimated that approximately 51% of Nevada's school-age children are enrolled in Medicaid, and this increased flexibility could substantially expand school-based services for students and improve ratios of health professionals to students in our schools. Finally, NDE works in close partnership with other branches of state government by providing testimony and research to the Inter-Legislative Committee on Education and the Senate and Assembly Committees on Education when the legislature is in session. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born, Globally Prepared 7 on November 18, 2019, Superintendent Eber joined Lander County School District Superintendent Russell Klein in celebrating the expansion of high-speed internet access to Austin. The Governor's Office of Science, Innovation and Technology Policy spearhead efforts to promote broadband connectivity in Nevada's rural and remote areas. Introduction and Framework. The 2020 statewide plan for the improvement of pupils, SDIP, is an operational plan that provides a framework to guide the improvement of Nevada's P-12 education system over the next 5 years. The intent of this document is to create a unified system of accountability and support for Nevada's public schools and districts. The 2020 SDIP is more focused on collaboration than ever before because it is only through collaboration that we can harness our collective impact. Working together as a system, we are smarter, stronger, and more productive than we could be otherwise. The goals and strategies that are found in the SDIP are the results of months of collaboration between NDE, the State Board of Education, our school and district colleagues, and community stakeholders. Most importantly, the values, goals, and strategies found in the SDIP respond to the articulated needs of the students, educators, and families who participated in the superintendent's statewide listening tour. The pages that follow describe a few of the ways we incorporated feedback to develop and refine the 2020 SDIP. The 2020 SDIP framework. The framework of the 2020 SDIP is distinct from previous SDIPs. The shifts described below are intended to catalyze the state's efforts to improve student outcomes. 2025 goals. The 2020 SDIP is organized around 6 goals that describe ambitious visions for the future. These 6 goals replace the 12 objectives that were used in previous SDIPs and target a more focused set of priorities. The goals are written so no single goal is owned by a subset of NDE staff, specific groups of district or school staff, or particular stakeholders. This is important because our children's seamless progress through the education pipeline is a shared responsibility. Progress on the goals will be monitored through SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound strategies to create meaningful accountability over the next 5 years. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born, Globally Prepared 8. Goal 1. All children, birth through 3rd grade, have access to quality early care and education. Goal 2. All students have access to effective educators. Goal 3. All students experience continued academic growth. Goal 4. All students graduate future-ready and globally prepared for post-secondary success and civic life. Goal 5. All students have access to new and continued educational opportunities supported by funding that is administered transparently, consistently, and in accordance with legislative or grant guidelines. Goal 6. All students and adults learn and work together in safe environments where identities and relationships are valued and celebrated. All means all the goals for public education in Nevada are meant to speak to all students in our state. All means without regard to age, gender, socioeconomic status, religion, race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, ability, native language, national origin, or citizenship status. The goals express the commitment of the state to the well-being of every student. It means no matter who you are, no matter where you call home, and no matter where you attend school, the Nevada Department of Education is dedicated to your success. Nde Values. The 2020 SDIP articulates a set of values that power Nde's mission. Values are non-negotiable aspects of our work that are essential to everything we do. These values are equity, access to quality, success, inclusivity, and community. For more detailed information on the definition of these values, and examples of the values in action at NDE and in districts and schools, see the section that begins on page 14. Inputs, outputs, and outcomes. We retired the term metric from prior SDIPs. The 2020 SDIP uses inputs, outputs, and outcomes instead. This will allow us to explicitly track the work we are doing to accomplish our goals. Creating transparency around inputs as well as outputs and outcomes helps NDE and the public understand which activities have the most impact on students and adults. Input, output, outcome resources or activities invested in a program or strategy, usually at the beginning of a cycle. The result of an input that is usually known in the middle of a cycle and represents the implementation of the program or strategy. Outcomes measure the benefits of a program or strategy for students or adults, usually at the end of a cycle. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle-Born, Globally Prepared 9. Unprecedented collaboration. The 2020 SDIP development process. State Board of Education input on the 2020 SDIP. As the SDIP was being developed, NDE provided regular updates to the State Board of Education, State Board. The updates described the progress of the statewide listening tour as well as presentations on draft concepts to ensure that the values, goals, and strategies address the most pressing needs facing Nevada's education system. During the discussions that followed updates, State Board members provided feedback and guidance that is reflected in the 2020 SDIP. The State Board emphasized the need for clear and specific benchmarks to monitor progress, a focus on continuous improvement, and the use of the SDIP as a North Star to inform our legislative priorities and to advocate for the support of our students and educators. Nevada Department of Education input on the 2020 SDIP. All NDE staff, regardless of role or office, were invited to a series of SDIP workshops where attendees provided feedback on the 6 goals and values. It is critical to the success of the 2020 SDIP that every NDE staff member is able to see how their daily work contributes to the accomplishment of our goals. NDE leadership staff served as project managers to develop each of the 6 goals. These project managers also collected feedback from staff and used it to enhance the plan. The inputs, outputs, and outcomes were also generated by NDE staff during a series of meetings led by project managers. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle-Born, Globally Prepared 10. District and school input on the 2020 SDIP. District superintendents laid the foundation for the 2020 SDIP through their role in designing the state superintendent's community visits during the statewide listening tour. During these visits, district and school leaders shared what makes their school communities unique as well as their aspirations for student success. Following the listening tour, the district superintendents received progress updates at monthly Nevada Association of School Superintendents (NAS) meetings and were invited to work sessions at the NAS Superintendents Academy to provide specific feedback on the draft goals and values. In addition, NDE designed a SDIP in a box presentation for district superintendents to share with their communities and collected additional feedback on the goals and values through an online form. Throughout the statewide listening tour, public school and district leaders, educators, and staff expressed support for NDE, setting a clear statewide vision for excellence while also providing the flexibility needed to adapt to local contexts. NDE leaders also heard from stakeholders about the need to promote school safety and elevate school climates by both expanding social-emotional learning and creating culturally responsive campuses where students and adults learn and work together. Finally, though each stop of the listening tour was unique, administrators and educators in every district spoke about the urgent need to increase the state's pipeline of highly effective educators at all school levels and content areas and across all education professions. Elko High School's award-winning choir, the Choral Leaders, was led by Miss Karen Rogers in a rousing rendition of Home Means Nevada. Afterwards, They posed for this photo with Superintendent Ebert and Deputy Superintendent Jonathan Moore. Students, families, and community input on the 2020 SDIP. NDE strives to embed community and family engagement throughout its work. This is why the 2020 SDIP shifted the emphasis from having a standalone family engagement objective to making collaboration with communities one of NDE's non-negotiable values, which are described in the next section of this document. At every listening tour stop, Superintendent Ebert spoke with students in their classrooms or in roundtable conversations and asked, if you could have what you want, what would you have? Students are eager for hands-on learning experiences, including work-based learning, that will prepare them for long-term success in college, careers, and civic life. Many shared that school is a safe place for them and even asked for more learning time. This comment drives home the appreciation students have for welcoming environments where they can learn, grow, and be themselves. Across nearly 20 community engagement forums, the state superintendent spoke directly with over 1,000 parents, business leaders, and community members about their hopes for the future, including what Nevada's high school graduates should know and be able to do. Echoing the comments of district and school staff, parents expressed universal appreciation for the dedicated and passionate educators in their communities. They also expressed concern about Nevada's educator shortage. Family and community members who connected with NDE leadership during the statewide listening tour will see their ideas reflected in the 2020 SDIP. Suggestions from the tour led to strategies about improving customer service and enhancing the accessibility of the information on the NDE website for diverse audiences. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born, Globally Prepared 11. 12 Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born, Globally Prepared. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born, Globally Prepared 13. Nde Values in the 2020 SDIP. The values and goals in the 2020 SDIP reflect the celebrations and points of pride that communities shared on the listening tour. The values and goals also highlight areas of expected growth and improvement. For the first time, the 2020 SDIP articulates a set of values that power the Nevada Department of Education's mission. These values are non-negotiable aspects of our work that are essential to everything we do to support educators and students. These values also honor our stakeholders' priority for a common language when discussing the services our students and educators need and deserve. 14 Equity. The learning needs of every student are supported in an environment where all students are valued, respected, and see themselves in their curriculum and instructional materials while experiencing academic success without regard to differences in age, gender, socioeconomic status, religion, race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, ability, native language, national origin, or citizenship status. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born, Globally Prepared. Access to quality students, educators, and families have opportunities to take full advantage of Nevada's education system, regardless of zip code, district, or setting. Success lead the nation in the excellence and rigor of our expectations and outcomes for students and educators. INCLUSIVITY learners are served in the least restrictive environment in culturally responsive schools. Community NDE collaborates with educators, districts, families, stakeholders, and partner agencies to lead a high-performing and responsive system of education for all Nevadans. Transparency. Districts and communities are served through efficient and effective use of public funds and high-quality customer service. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born, Globally Prepared 15. Equity. Definition. The learning needs of every student are supported in an environment where all students are valued, respected, and see themselves in their curriculum and instructional materials while experiencing academic success without regard to differences in age, gender, socioeconomic status, religion, race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, ability, native language, national origin, or citizenship status. Education is critically important for the productivity and well-being of individuals and for the economic and social development of entire societies. One, increased educational attainment results in long-term benefits for individuals in the form of higher personal earnings and better health. Accumulated across a society, the benefits of an educated population translate into higher economic growth, reduced mother and child mortality, and increased civic engagement. Promoting equity in education supports a growth trajectory for Nevada's economy and communities. Equality means all students receive the same support, regardless of their individual needs. In contrast, equity means that all students have access to the support they need at the right moment in their education. 2. Equity has a prominent place within the 2020 Sdip. In part, this reflects the diversity of the student population in Nevada. At the same time, an emphasis on equity supports the efforts of public schools and districts to equip educators with the tools to understand and address systemic inequities, create culturally relevant instruction, and change attitudes to support the height of what every student can accomplish. 3. Equity in the classroom. Schools like J.G. Johnson Elementary School, Darnell Elementary School, and Las Vegas High School in the Clark County School District are just some examples of schools promoting equity by actively conquering the digital divide. The administrators and educators at these schools recognize that, although equity may start with ensuring students have an internet connectivity, it extends to ensuring that all students are technologically literate and are able to navigate learning platforms. This includes helping students who may not have access to internet and computers at home to be as ready as their peers to show what they know and are able to do. Equity at NDE. One critical way that NDE supports educational equity is by reporting and comparing data across different student populations, including disaggregating by race, ethnicity, as well as ability, socioeconomic status, and other characteristics. Nevada Department of Education 2020 Sdip. Battle-born, globally prepared. 16. Such as homelessness, foster status, or military or migrant families. Reporting such data transparently identifies student groups that may not be reaping the full benefits of education and enables us to intervene before opportunity gaps accumulate. 4. NDE leads and engages public schools and districts in continuous improvement around equitable practices. One example of NDE's pursuit of equity comes from the Office of Standards and Instructional Support, SIS. The SIS team works with educators to develop relevant academic content standards, identify high-quality instructional materials, and implement equitable instructional practices. An example of NDE's pursuit of equity can be found in the 2018 Nevada Academic Content Standards, NVACs, for social studies. These standards were developed in collaboration with Nevada educators and community members from across the state. The 2018 NVACs for social studies include a multicultural content theme. Content themes encompass the major ideas in each of the key disciplines of social studies, such as social justice, consciousness, and action, respectful engagement with diverse people, and diverse contributions made by men and women from various racial ethnic backgrounds. The SIS team provides professional learning opportunities and resources for educators as they implement the multicultural content theme in K-12 classrooms. 1. UNESCO Institute for Statistics, 2018. Handbook on Measuring Equity in Education retrieved from http://uis.unesco.org/sites/default/files/documents/handbook-measuring-equity-education-2018.pdf to the Aspen Education and Society Program and the Council of Chief State School Officers, 2017. Leading for Equity, Opportunities for State Education Chiefs. Retrieved from https://ccs.org/sites/default/2018-2020-equity_011618.pdf. 3. Stanford Center for Opportunity Policy in Education and the National Education Policy Center, 2013. How to close the opportunity gap. Key policy recommendations for UNESCO Institute for Statistics, 2018. Handbook on Measuring Equity in Education retrieved from http://uis.unesco.org/sites/default/files/documents/handbook-measuring-equity-education-2018.pdf. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born. Globally prepared Superintendent Eber meets with students from McDermott Combined Schools in Humboldt County School District following a rain dance performance. 17. Access to quality definition. Students, educators, and families have opportunities to take full advantage of Nevada's education system, regardless of zip code, district, or setting. Access is essential because it opens doors to education. What does access look like? It looks like a 4-year-old entering pre-kindergarten, a 4th grader picking up a saxophone for the first time, a high school student enrolling in college-level coursework, a college student beginning the field experience that gives them their first taste of classroom teaching, or an adult learner enrolling in a class that will prepare them with the career-connected learning they need to secure a well-paying job. Through conversations with NDE staff and stakeholders, it was made clear that access is meaningless without quality. Quality is defined for different aspects of our education system throughout the 2020 SDIP strategies. Access to quality in the classroom. There are many exemplars of access to quality across our state. One educator in particular represents this value. Ms. Amber Blinko, a pre-kindergarten, pre-K teacher at Hawthorne Elementary School in Mineral County School District, is a former mathematics teacher who brings their knowledge of elementary academic standards to her pre-kindergarten classroom. While a casual observer may have seen 4-year-old students counting from 1 to 10, a closer look revealed this pre-kindergarten classroom was accomplishing 3 mathematics standards during a single activity. The lesson was disguised as play. Among the choruses of 1, 2, 3, 4, students could be seen comparing their hordes of plastic animals and then sorting them into groups of 4. During Ms. Blinko's play-based lesson, some students needed multiple attempts to progress from adding groups of 4 to counting by groups of 4. Regardless of the knowledge they brought to class that morning, each student finished the exercise by demonstrating the succession of counting one by one, grouping, adding, and counting by group. Another school district that targeted creating access to quality pre-kindergarten is Nye County. During the listening tour, several pre-kindergarten classrooms were toured showcasing educators and students who engaged in school routines that could have been replicated in an older classroom. During the pre-kindergarten roundtable conversation with families, several parents shared that if it were not for the district's provided pre-kindergarten programs, their families could not afford to provide their children with high-quality early childhood education. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born, Globally Prepared 18. Access to quality at NDE. One way NDE supports access to quality is through the process of grants administration. NDE staff provide technical assistance to public schools and districts to ensure that students graduate future-ready and globally prepared. For example, the state Zoom and Victory Grant program serves students who are English learners and eligible for free or reduced price lunch, respectively. The Victory program, created by the Nevada legislature in 2015, funds 35 schools that are identified as the lowest performing schools in the highest poverty zip codes in the state. The goals of the Victory program including reading at grade level by 3rd grade, high school readiness in 8th grade, and graduating high school ready for college and careers. The Zoom program, which was initiated by the legislature in 2013, targets the lowest performing schools with the highest percentage of English learners in Nevada. Zoom programs provide high-quality services and instruction designed to help English learners become English proficient and achieve academic success. These efforts are represented in the 2020 SDIP strategies that focus on closing opportunity gaps among student groups as well as strategies related to data-driven school improvement. Miss Crowley's preschool class at Mount Charleston Elementary in Nye County School District. Learning in a Circle. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born, Globally Prepared 19. Success definition. Lead the nation in the excellence and rigor of our expectations and outcomes for students and educators. NDE is committed to building and maintaining a system of education in Nevada that uses success for all students and educators as its North Star. Standards and assessments demand high expectations and stellar teaching for all students. Expectations for teachers demand high levels of rigor and quality in professional learning. Using data to make decisions enables us to be responsive to students' and educators' needs and to provide support where it will have the most impact. Investing in research-based effective practices and promoting cycles of continuous improvement will help ensure that, each year, more students attend high-performing schools. For Nde Valley High School, Lincoln County School District, students practice skilled and technical sciences in this diesel and automotive lab led by Mr. Rob Hansen. Success in the classroom to career and technical education, CTE classrooms that demonstrate success include the skilled and technical sciences classes at White Pine High School and the agriculture and natural resources classes at Eureka County High School. On the surface, these classes showcase student independence in safely navigating heavy machinery. However, they also produce graduates who are prepared for the workforce with highly marketable skills and experience in producing final products that are consumer-ready. Mr. Jared Hyatt teaches Eureka County High School's Agricultural Technology and Mechanical Systems class. In his classroom, students engage in career-connected learning, which means they are often hired after graduation in jobs where they use the skills they learned in his class. Student success is represented in unique ways, including the homes bordering the Eureka County High School football field that were built by students. In the automotive and diesel technology class at White Pine High School, students are in the driver's seat, demonstrating competency-based learning. One aspect of their coursework that stands out is the "You Fix It, You Keep It" program, which allows students to keep a salvaged car if they are able to successfully restore it. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born, Globally Prepared 20. Success at NDE Results for America conducted a comprehensive case study detailing NDE's efforts to seize the opportunities presented by the Every Student Succeeds Act, ESSA. This case study followed NDE's actions to prioritize data and evidence in decisions that matter for students across the state. Our Office of School and Student Supports, OSSS, which allocates most of Nevada's federal and state education grants, catalyzed a statewide evidence-based movement. Over the past 2 years, shifts in policy and practice have positively influenced adult behaviors, improved organizational cultures, and strengthened relationships between NDE and district leaders. OSSS has worked hard to overcome the doubts that usually emerge during a major policy change, which has resulted in districts and schools making evidence-based decision-making the norm. 5 White Pine High School students raised their hands on the way to a high five. 5 Results for America, 2019. Once evidence skeptics, now evidence champions. Retrieved from https://results4america.org/wp-content/uploads/2019/rf8-nv-essa-case-study.pdf. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born, Globally Prepared 21. INCLUSIVITY definition. Learners are served in the least restrictive environment in culturally responsive schools. NDE is committed to creating school environments where students feel safe and secure and have their identities acknowledged, valued, and celebrated. That means that students whose native language is not English are seen to have an asset, rather than a deficit, as they chart their path toward becoming bilingual. It also means that differently abled students are in least restrictive learning environments responsive to their unique needs. It means that school leaders and educators take time to understand their students and target instruction to the individuals in front of them. Culturally responsive sustaining education is grounded in a view of learning through which multiple expressions of diversity, e.g., age, gender, socioeconomic status, religion, race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, ability, native language, national origin, or citizenship status are recognized as assets for teaching and learning. 6 Sustaining means that education encourages cultural pluralism, where differences are seen as strengths and are maintained because they are what makes students and families unique. 7 Inclusivity in the classroom. Nevada's students with intellectual disabilities (ID) are separated from their typically developing peers at the highest rate of any state in the nation, with 73.89% of students with ID spending less than 40% of their school day in general education settings. The Lyon County School District has responded to Nevada's emphasis on more inclusion of students with severe disabilities through district-level support to schools. This has resulted in a decrease in the percentage of students with ID in the most restrictive environment year over year from 53% 2018-19 to 20% 2019-20, reflecting an inclusive cultural shift for the district. Skurs Elementary School is located on the Walker River Paiute tribe, where there is a large Native American Indian student population. The Mineral County School District recognizes that there has been a history of community mistrust in the education system, and there is a lot of work to do to improve the educational experiences of their traditionally underserved student population. The school district has used Title VII Impact Aid to improve school facilities, as well as install a marquee to promote current events. It is customary to use Impact Aid funding for administrative needs. The school made the unique decision to use part of the funding to contract with a Native American Indian teacher, who is a fully licensed music teacher. We applaud Skurs Elementary for this innovative use of funds to invest in culturally relevant education. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born, Globally Prepared 22. Inclusivity at NDE staff are in regular communication with the Intertribal Council of Nevada, IDCN. The IDCN Executive Board includes all tribal chairpersons in Nevada. NDE's Indian Education Team collaborates with IDCN through monthly meetings and in hosting educational events across the state. NDE also works with the IDCN to support early childhood education and workforce development efforts. In addition, NDE partners with the Nevada Indian Commission, NIC, which coordinates the Indian Education Advisory Committee, IAC. As of spring 2020, the IAC is in the process of revising the Nevada American Indian and Alaska Native Strategic Plan. Together with the SDIP, the updated plan will set goals to ensure equitable access to educational opportunities for Native American Indian students. NDE also supports students receiving gifted and talented education, GATE. In an effort to fully engage the GATE community, NDE meets with the Gifted Education Directors Association quarterly to provide training on gifted inclusion, GATE monitoring, identification, data analysis, education programming, and resolving the disproportionalities in identifying gifted and talented students are all topics that are addressed during these quarterly training sessions. Students enjoying recess at Hawthorne Elementary School in Mineral County. 6. The University of the State of New York. 2020. Culturally Responsive Sustaining Education Framework. Retrieved from http://www.nysed.gov/common/NICE files program CRS culturally-responsive-sustaining-education-framework.pdf 7 Kirkland, D. 2012. Why I Study Culture, and Why It Matters, Humanizing Ethnographies in Social Science Research. Nde Paris and M. Lin, eds. Humanizing Research. Thousand Oaks Publishing. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born, Globally Prepared 23 Carson City School District has developed a Young Scholars program to support elementary school students. Teachers of Young Scholars focus on providing a rigorous, Differentiated learning experience for first and second grade students to address the specialized needs of potentially gifted and talented education students prior to identification in third grade. Community definition. NDE collaborates with educators, districts, families, stakeholders, and partner agencies to lead a high-performing and responsive system of education for all Nevadans by a variety of measures. Education may be the single best investment a community can make. Those who are better educated are more likely to report better health outcomes, be civically engaged, and earn more over their lifetimes than their less educated peers. Establishing and maintaining a high-performing system of public education is a significant challenge that no single person, agency, or group can accomplish alone. NDE recognizes that leveraging its partnerships is the only way to maximize existing resources and harness our collective capacity for positive change. Community and schools in Washoe County School District. Sparks Middle School's home visit program exemplifies how families and guardians are welcomed as advocates of and partners in their children's education. Through this program, Sparks Middle School teachers and staff visit students' families in their homes to gain a full understanding of how best to support students' needs in the classroom. Principal Stacy Ting believes the increased communication between family members, students, and their teachers has made a positive difference in the experience of students who may be spending their first academic year away from immediate family members or may be taking classes in English for the first time. In order to establish a successful home visit program, it is important to Sparks Middle School to ensure that the ambitions families have for their students are shared by staff who are also invested in students' short and long-term success. Carson City School District educators provided feedback on what they want their high school graduates to know and be able to do. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born, Globally Prepared 24. Community at NDE in our day-to-day work. NDE commits to breaking down silos that prevent serving students, educators, and districts efficiently and effectively. As stated earlier, narrowing from 12 objectives in prior SDIPs to 6 goals in the 2020 SDIP is one way we encourage cross-functional work across our offices. In our day-to-day work, NDE partners with the greater Nevada community to promote a high-performing and responsive system of education. An example of this can be seen in NDE's new partnership with the Washoe Education Alliance, WEA. As this group of community leaders convenes to discuss important issues related to education, NDE serves as an active partner by contributing statewide data to inform specific topics of discussion. NDE works to ensure the WEA can make data-driven decisions to support students and educators with funding and other resources. Another example of NDE's commitment to community is our partnership with the United Way of Northern Nevada and the Sierras, UWNNS. NDE staff serve on various boards and committees within the UWNNS. In addition, NDE has partnered with the UWNNS around its early literacy initiative, which seeks to expand the number of available books for students in kindergarten through grade 3 to increase literacy proficiency. Superintendent Ebert, Deputy Superintendent Felicia Gonzalez, Deputy Superintendent Jonathan Moore, Mater Academy's Principal Lynn Fairless and Mr. Juan Venegas, State Public Charter School Authority members Dr. Tanya Holmes Sutton and Don Soifer, and State Public Charter School Authority Executive Director Rebecca Fayadin. 8. The National Bureau of Economic Research, July, 2006. The Effects on Education and Health. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born, Globally Prepared 25. Transparency definition. Districts and communities are served through efficient and effective use of public funds and fulfillment of statutory responsibilities. Transparency is about more than making data available for the public. Communication to stakeholders reflects a commitment to including them in the process of thoughtful decision-making and welcoming feedback regarding NDE's work. To be respected as the leader of Nevada's education system, NDE must demonstrate the highest levels of commitment to students and educators. That means being accountable stewards of public funds, responsive to the needs of districts and schools, and faithfully implementing legislative intent. 2060's Class SMART Goals from Eureka Elementary School Classroom remind students of their goals for success. Transparency in districts at the school district level. The Churchill County School Board pursues transparency in the way they conduct their public meetings and make decisions. With each initiative, such as their profile of a learner or the revision of their strategic plan, the Churchill County School Board casts a wide net to collect input from family members, community leaders, school leaders, and teachers. Contributors can see their input, including survey feedback, in Churchill's 3 goals, which reflect priorities for life-ready learners, whole child development, and collaboration. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born, Globally Prepared. Transparency at NDE. An example of NDE's work to promote transparency is found in the Nevada Report Card, which is available online. The report card allows members of the public to review student, educator, academic, and fiscal information in a user-friendly format. In addition, NDE's website hosts pages for each board, council, and commission we support, where the public can find meeting agendas and materials to stay informed on our work. NDE's Office of Educator Development, Licensure, and Family Engagement, EVLEFE, is responsible for evaluating qualifications, performing background investigations, and awarding licenses for all licensed education personnel, including teachers, substitutes, specialists, and administrators. Licensees can apply, submit necessary documents, and track the progress of their applications through the online portal for applications and licensure, OPAL. Members of the public can search the status and approved areas of licenses thanks to OPAL's functionality. The success of the Nevada Report Card and OPAL in bringing essential information and services online for NDE's customers has inspired strategies in the 2020 SDIP that will expand the amount of types of information that are readily available to the public. Superintendent Ebert being interviewed by Rosemary Clark Middle School students during Mr. Armando Velo's class. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born, Globally Prepared 27. 28 Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born, Globally Prepared. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle Born, Globally Prepared 29. 2025 Goals and Strategies Guide to the 2025 Goals and Strategies as we described above. The 2020 SDIP is organized using a framework that includes goals, values, and strategies. The remainder of this document focuses on the goals and strategies, and the inputs, outputs, and outcomes that accomplish the strategies.
I just got out of my Zoom staff meeting, so I'm on Zoom a lot. Okay. Hey, Steph.
Of public funds and fulfillment of statutory responsibilities. Transparency is about more than making data available for the public. Communication to stakeholders reflects a commitment to including them in the process of thoughtful decision-making and welcoming feedback regarding NDE's work. To be respected as the leader of Nevada's education system, NDE must demonstrate the highest levels of commitment to students and educators. That means being accountable stewards of public funds, responsive to the needs of districts and schools, and faithfully implementing legislative intent. 2060's Class SMART Goals from Eureka Elementary School Classroom remind students of their goals for success. Transparency in districts at the school district level. The Churchill County School Board pursues transparency in the way they conduct their public meetings and make decisions. With each initiative, such as their profile of a learner or the revision of their strategic plan, the Churchill County School Board casts a wide net to collect input from family members, community leaders, school leaders, and teachers. Contributors can see their input, including survey feedback, in Churchill's 3 goals, which reflect priorities for life-ready learners, whole child development, In collaboration, Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle-Born, Globally Prepared. Transparency at NDE. An example of NDE's work to promote transparency is found in the Nevada Report Card, which is available online. The report card allows members of the public to review student, educator, academic, and fiscal information in a user-friendly format. In addition, NDE's website hosts pages for each board, council, and commission we support, where the public can find meeting agendas and materials to stay informed on our work. NDE's Office of Educator Development, Licensure, and Family Engagement, EDLEFE, is responsible for evaluating qualifications, performing background investigations, and awarding licenses for all licensed education personnel, including teachers, substitutes, specialists, and administrators. Licensees can apply, submit necessary documents, and track the progress of their applications through the online portal for applications in licensure, OPAL. Members of the public can search the status and approved areas of licenses thanks to OPAL's functionality. The success of the Nevada Report Card and OPAL in bringing essential information and services online for NDE's customers has inspired strategies in the 2020 SDIP that will expand the amount of types of information that are readily available to the public. Superintendent Ebert being interviewed by Rosemary Clark Middle School students during Mr. Armando Velo's class. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle-Born, Globally Prepared 27. 28 Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle-Born, Globally Prepared. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle-Born, Globally Prepared 29. 2025 Goals and Strategies Guide to the 2025 Goals and Strategies as we described above. The 2020 SDIP is organized using a framework that includes goals, values, and strategies. The remainder of this document focuses on the goals and strategies, and the inputs, outputs, and outcomes that accomplish the strategies. Each goal begins with an introduction and a narrative that uses research and evidence to explain why that goal is important to Nevada. The narratives also reference feedback heard on the listening tour or from NDE staff, because research is even more powerful when it's complemented by the aspirations of our communities, stakeholders, and staff experts. Highlights of the framework include: under each goal, there are 6 strategies. Each strategy aligns to one of the Nde values described in the previous section. Together, the strategies will help accomplish each goal by 2025. Under each strategy, there are inputs, outputs, and outcomes. Including these specific inputs, outputs, and outcomes ensures that the 2020 SDIP can be put into action. The inputs, outputs, and outcomes are examples of NDE's immediate next steps to accomplish the goals of the 2020 SDIP. While only a few inputs, outputs, and outcomes may be listed underneath each strategy, that is not meant to limit the actions of NDE, public schools and districts, and educational partners. Indeed, it is expected that accomplishing our ambitious 2025 goals will take a collective effort that goes far beyond what we could contain within a single document. 30 Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle-Born, Globally Prepared. Pre-K impacted my son emotionally, socially, and academically. It opened to me to a new career by volunteering in the classroom and discovering that is something I want to do, so it helped me, too. Parent of Nevada Ready. Pre-K Student Goal 1. All children, birth through 3rd grade, have access to quality early care and education. The child's educational journey begins at birth and continues throughout P-12 education, and, if we do our job right, Nevadans will graduate high school globally prepared, enter college and careers, and engage in civic life and lifelong learning. Our very first goal relates to early childhood learning, where our investment has the highest return. Investing in early care and education is important because the circumstances of the first 1,000 days of a child's life can change the course of their future. 9 On many stops of the listening tour, we had the opportunity to observe high-quality early education, as well as to hear directly from parents about pre-kindergarten, pre-K access as a game changer in their communities. Expanding access to state-funded pre-K programs for all of Nevada's 4 and 5-year-olds will ensure that children enter kindergarten ready to succeed. Research shows that children who get a strong start through high-quality early childhood education programs are less likely to use special education services or repeat a grade level. They are also more likely to graduate from high school, enroll in college, and succeed in their careers than those who have not had access to high-quality preschool. 10 Nevada Ready Pre-kindergarten. In 2014, Nevada was selected as a recipient of a Preschool Development Grant, PDG, through the U.S. Department of Education and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Through this award, Nevada created full-day pre-kindergarten, pre-K slots in high-quality early learning programs across the state, while providing critical wraparound support for underserved families. High-quality preschool seats are those that are full-day, minimum of 5 hours, and led by a teacher with at least a bachelor's degree. As just one example of its impact, the PDG supported the Clark County School District in converting 495 half-day preschool seats into 653 full-day preschool seats. During the 80th legislative session, 2019, NDE secured funding to maintain the more than 3,000 high-quality Nevada-ready state pre-K seats that were created through the Preschool Development Grant. The 2019 session also resulted in the passage of Senate Bill 84, which outlined program requirements for Nevada-ready state pre-K. The program quality standards in place today were established in legislation and through best practice and research, and provide guardrails around the components of early childhood education that are necessary for effective outcomes for our children. Quality is indicated by factors including teacher qualifications, appropriate class size and ratio, and use of standards-aligned curricula and assessments. 1000 Days 2020. Why 1000 Days? Retrieved from https://1000days.org/y-1000-days/10 U.S. Department of Education, April 2015. A Matter of Equity. Preschool in America. Retrieved from https://www.ed.gov/documents/early-learning matter-equity-preschool-america.pdf. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle-Born, Globally Prepared 31. Differently abled students. Federal law refers to students with some physical or mental impairment that substantially limits one or more major life activities as students with disabilities. Though that terminology exists in the Nevada report card to support our federal reporting requirements, we have begun to refer to such students as differently abled, which removes the negative connotation of the dis prefix. Silver State Stars Quality Rating and Improvement System, QRIS educational initiatives including full-day kindergarten, read by grade 3, the Preschool Development Grant, Kindergarten Entry Assessment, and Silver State Stars Quality Rating and Improvement System, QRIS, have been instrumental in strengthening and expanding access to and improving quality of early education in Nevada. The Silver State Stars QRIS provides early childhood centers programs with a comprehensive understanding of what they do well. Silver State Stars QRIS also provides programs with extensive support through individualized coaching, technical assistance, financial incentives, resources, and professional learning opportunities to address areas of improvement and scale best practices. In addition to supporting childcare programs and the professional practitioner within them, the Silver State Stars QRIS informs parents and families regarding childcare choices and what high quality truly means. The public-facing and user-friendly QRIS portal also contributes to community awareness to the critical role that the early years play in preparing children for their academic journey and lifelong successes, valuing the very important work early childhood professionals do every day. High-quality programs are rated as 3, 4, or 5-star programs through Silver State Stars QRIS. Figure 1 shows the QRIS star ratings for programs in 2018-19. Special populations enrollment research shows that access to high-quality pre-K education can be the key to unlocking education equity across races, ethnicities, geography, and income levels. Children who don't have access to the benefits of preschool may begin kindergarten at a significant disadvantage in both academic and social-emotional skills. This can trap them in a cycle of continuous catch-up in their learning. 11. To support our efforts around equity and accountability, and in accordance with the federal Every Student Succeeds Act, Nevada reports student data broken down, or disaggregated, by race and ethnicity, as well as special population status, which includes students with disabilities, SWD, or differently abled students, students who are English learners, ELs, and students eligible for free or reduced price lunch, FRL. As of 2018-19, we also track data for homeless, foster, and military-connected students. One way to analyze equity in access to educational opportunity is by comparing the proportion of students from a racial ethnic group or special population in K-12 classrooms with the proportion of that population in certain programs, like pre-K. Figure 2 shows a comparison in the percentage of students from different racial ethnic groups enrolled in K-12 and pre-K classrooms. More information on special populations enrollment can be found in the Goal 3 section, beginning on page 44. 11 U.S. Department of Education, April 2015. A Matter of Equity, Preschool in America. Retrieved from https://www.ed.gov/documents/early-learning/matter-equity-preschool-america.pdf. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle-Born, Globally Prepared 32 Figure 1. Nevada Ready. State Pre-K Silver State Stars QRIS Ratings. 2018, 19, 25, 2015, 10, 5, 22, 19, 18, 17, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, stars. This bar graph shows the number of Nevada Ready State Pre-K programs that achieved each level of star rating through the Silver State Stars QRIS in 2018-19. Number of programs. Figure 2. Student enrollment by race ethnicity in K-12 and pre-K classrooms. 2018-19. This chart shows the comparison in the percentage of students from different racial ethnic groups enrolled in K-12 and pre-K classrooms. 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, 0, 42.45%, K-12 15.80%, 11.29%, 14.60%, Black, White, Hispanic, Asian, 2 or more races in the past few years. NDE has made a concerted effort to increase the rates at which differently abled students are included in general education classes. Research shows that expanding access to high-quality pre-K for differently abled students produces benefits for students as they progress to elementary school and beyond. 11. Figure 3 shows a dramatic increase in the percentage of 3 to 5-year-old differently abled students receiving services in general education classrooms between 2015-16 and 2019-20. Figure 3. Pre-K inclusion rates of 3-5-year-old differently abled students. This bar graph shows the increase in inclusion of 3 to 5-year-old students with disabilities in general education pre-K classrooms from 30.2% in 2015-16 to 43.9% in 2019-20. Read by grade 350 40 30 2010 0 30.233.443.87 39.434.07 31.87% pre-K 1.44% 1.50% Pacific Islander 24.50% 40.00% 5.48% 1.50% 6.61% 2.00% 0.8% American Indian, Alaska Native 0.86%. Goal 1 goes beyond kindergarten readiness to include the continuum of learning from birth through third grade, making Read by Grade 3 a critical part of achieving this goal. Nevada's Read by Grade 3, RBG3, program was created in 2015 to dramatically improve student achievement by ensuring that all students are able to read proficiently by the end of third grade. RBG3 legislation requires public schools and districts to develop local plans aimed at improving the literacy of all students in kindergarten through third grade, K3. RBG3 emphasizes the implementation of early intervention measures in reading achievement for all K3 students who are struggling in reading. The original Read by Grade 3 law required every elementary school in Nevada to designate a reading learning strategist to provide literacy-based professional learning, coaching, and guidance for all teachers of kindergarten through fourth grade. To assess the effectiveness of literacy instruction, educators draw on the results of 3 different early learning assessments. One is the Brigance, which is a kindergarten entry assessment. Another is the Measures of Academic Progress, MAP, growth assessment for K3. The third is the Smarter Balanced English Language Arts assessment for grades 3 through 8. RBG3 aims to develop cultures of literacy across and within multiple areas of elementary education, including in students' homes. RBG3 is committed to supporting all students because literacy is an essential building block of student growth and achievement. Assembly Bill 289, 2019 expanded the RBG3 program by replacing learning strategists with literacy specialists. It further strengthened the RGB3 program, describing the support provided for elementary students who are not proficient in reading. Finally, it removed the requirement to retain third graders who do not demonstrate reading proficiency. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle-Born, Globally Prepared 2015-16 2016-17 N equals 8,837 Newton equals 8,768 Newton equals 8,984 Newton equals 8,443 Newton equals 8,787 2017 18 2018 19 2019 20 33% of students 34 Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle-Born, Globally Prepared. Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle-Born, Globally Prepared 35. Goal 2. All students have access to effective educators. A student's educational success is the result of many factors external to schools, such as community wealth and their family's socioeconomic status and educational attainment. However, research shows that the single most important in-school determinant of student achievement is the quality of teaching. 13 There is no time to lose in creating systemic change to catalyze Nevada's educator preparation pipeline. NDE has pushed the education workforce conversation beyond teachers to the broader term educators. We don't just need more teachers, we also need to recruit and retain highly effective school psychologists, social workers, audiologists, all of the professionals who provide the comprehensive support necessary for students to succeed. Goal 2 reflects the importance of all students having access to effective educators, which informs the supply pipeline we need to create with educator preparation programs, as well as our work with public schools and districts and regional professional development programs to design resources for educators. Educator recruitment and retention. Nevada, like many states, is facing an educator shortage. Districts began the 2019 school year with 1,019 total teacher vacancies, which translates to roughly 30,000 students in classrooms with substitute teachers. 1,000 vacancies cannot be filled overnight, and, if current trends continue, the gap between the educator demand and supply will only grow. If Nevada does not stem the tide of attrition, teachers will continue cycling out of the classroom at a rate of 2,500 a year, which 0% is an 8.9% annual attrition rate, see Figure 3. That means for next fall, we will need at least 3,500 new teachers. which is well beyond the current capacity of Nevada's educator preparation programs to produce. This bar chart shows the 3-year trend of teachers leaving employment, either due to retirement or other reasons. Figure 4. 3-year trend of teachers leaving employment: 9.0%, 9.2%, 10%, 2,348, 2,417, 8.9%, 2,326, 2018, 1930, 0.28%, 6%, 4%, 2%. The educator shortage extends to all licensed educational professions, such as school counselors, school psychologists, school social workers, school nurses, speech-language pathologists, library media specialists, and other professionals who provide essential student support services. Federally, this group of professionals is referred to as Specialized Instructional Support Personnel, SISP. National organizations such as the American School Counselor Association, the National Association of School Psychologists, and the School Social Work Association of America publish recommendations of the ideal number of students each support professional should be responsible for serving. Figure 5 includes those best practice recommendations of student to SISP ratios. Based on those ratios and staffing data provided to NDE by school districts in April 2020, the final column in Figure 5 shows the number of additional SISP that are needed statewide to meet best practice ratios. 13 Hattie, J. 2009. Visible Learning, a synthesis of over 800 meta-analyses relating to achievement. London, UK, Routledge, Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battleborn, Globally Prepared 2016-17 2017-18 School Year 36, we can't innovate, improve, or redesign our education system without cracking the code on recruiting and retaining great educators. Superintendent Eber percentage. Figure 5. Projected staffing needs to meet best practice specialized instructional support personnel ratios. Best practice ratio of SISP to students. Total number of SISP estimated to meet best practice ratios based on student enrollment. 2018-2019 school year. Current staffing levels. Statewide number of SISP needed to meet best practice ratios. Counselors 14, 1, 251,770, 951, 819. Psychologists 15, 1, 500, minus 700, 888, 239, 649. Social workers 16, 1, 251,770, 375, 1,395. Nurses 17, 1, 750, 590. 5, 297, 298. Speech language pathologist asterisk NE 482 and a library media specialist 18, 1 school 689, 269, 420 asterisk. There are no best practice recommendations for ratios of speech language pathologists per student or school population, as those services are provided on an as needed basis. This table shows the April 2020 staffing levels of school counselors, psychologists, social workers, nurses, speech-language pathologists, and library media specialists in Nevada compared to national best practice staffing ratios. Student-to-staff ratios for all categories of SISP are much lower in Nevada than is considered best practice. This is especially troubling because of the extensive research base that demonstrates the impact that social-emotional wellness can have on students in the short and long term. For example, students who have the social-emotional support they need are less likely to be involved with the criminal justice system and more likely to graduate from high school, go to college, and find gainful employment. 14 American School Counselor Association, May 7, 2019. ASCA releases updated student-to-school counselor ratio data. 15 National Association of School Psychologists, 2015. Model for Comprehensive and Integrated School Psychological Services, NASP National Practice Model Overview. 16 School Social Work Association of America, 2013. School Social Workers Helping Students Succeed, Recommended School Social Worker to Student Ratios. 17 National Association of School Nurses. 2015. School nurse workload. Staffing for safe care, position statement. 18 National Education Association, 2016. Library media centers in U.S. public schools, growth, staffing, and resources. 19 Mental Health Association in New York State, Incorporated, October 2017. Mental health education in New York schools. A review of the legislative history, intent and vision for implementation. Retrieved from https://mhn.org/wp-content/uploads/2019/04/mental-health-education-in-schools-white-paper-final-3.pdf Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle-Born, globally prepared 37. Educator diversity. For students to succeed, they must have highly effective teachers who are able to adjust instruction to meet the needs of all learners. Unfortunately, research shows that, in many cases, highly effective teachers are least likely to be in classrooms with the students who have the greatest need for support. On average, disadvantaged students have less access to effective teaching than other students. Students from families experiencing poverty and students of color are disproportionately located in the lowest performing schools, which have half as many highly effective and 1.5 times as many ineffective teachers as high-performing schools. 20. Recruiting and retaining a diverse group of highly effective educators is absolutely essential to our efforts to ensure that all students experience continued academic growth and graduate globally prepared as reflected in Goals 3 and 4, respectively. Figure 6 below demonstrates that the self-reported race ethnicity of Nevada's teachers does not reflect the demographics of our students. For example, while only 28% of Nevada's students are white, 81% of Nevada's teachers self-identify as white. This problem is not unique to the Silver State. While approximately 50% of the P-12 students in the U.S. are young people of color, approximately 80% of the current U.S. teacher force is, by societal definitions, white. 21 90 80 70 60 50 40 30 20 10 0 81.00% students teachers. Figure 6. Student and teacher race ethnicity, 2018-2019 11.29%, black 31.87%, white 6.61%, 2 or more races 6.30%, 5.70%, 5.48%, 3.10%, Asian 1.44%, 1.00%, Pacific Islander 42.45%, 0.86%, 0.40%, American Indian, Alaska Native 1.00%, 38 Hispanic. This chart shows a comparison of the percentage of students from different racial ethnic groups enrolled in K-12 schools and the percentage of teachers who self-report to belong to those racial ethnic groups. 20 Reform Support Network, March 2015. Promoting more equitable access to effective teachers' problems and root causes. Retrieved from https://www.ed.gov/about/assist/equitationnit/tech-assist/equitablecsclash/implementation-support-unit/pdf. 21 Meckler, L. Rabinowitz, K. The Washington Post, December 27, 2019. America's schools are more diverse than ever. But the teachers are still mostly white. Retrieved from https://www.washingtonpost.com/graphics/2019/local/education/teacher-diversity/Nevada Department of Education 2020 SDIP Battle-Born, globally prepared percentage of students and teachers. A more diverse educator workforce is not simply an aspiration, it is essential if we are to succeed in breaking what has become a deeply entrenched pattern of educational underperformance, especially among students of color. 22 Nde's partnerships with educator preparation programs, public schools, and districts to recruit and retain diverse educators will provide more role models to all students and demonstrate the value of diversity. The racial and cultural identity of an educator can make a difference, particularly for students from underrepresented groups. 2324 For students, having teachers that look like them reinforces their own identity. For the school community, it creates a bridge to increased engagement in schools. 25 In addition, educators of color are more likely than their white peers to remain in the very schools that need to increased engagement in schools. 25 In addition, educators of color are more likely than their white peers to remain in the very schools that need them most. The urban schools with high proportions of students of color and from families experiencing poverty. 27 Research-based best practices to address educator diversity include providing incentives via scholarship support, articulation relationships between 2-year and 4-year post-secondary institutions, and support for local efforts to attract and place effective educators of color. 28 District level, grow your own GYO programs that recruit diverse candidates and involve educator preparation programs in all stages of program development and implementation have also been successful. 29 In the 2019-20 school year alone,